Storytime with Pedal TV.
Welcome everybody to another edition of Storytime. That's right. I'm your host, Eddie Monster. This is Pedal TV. Welcome. We have quite the story for all of you today, because today is Lynn Strait's birthday. Now, for those of you who don't know who Lynn Strait is, he was the lead singer of the band Snot. Unfortunately, he passed away in 1998 from what I believe was a car accident. But he left a lasting legacy that has lasted since Ozzfest 98. Because something legendary happened at Ozzfest 98, and I'm here to tell you about it. So, the only images that I could procure from this, I will show you. So, let's take it back. It's 1998. It's the end of the school year. And my friends are like, Eddie, Ozzfest 98 is coming. Bands like Tool and Megadeth and Ozzy and so on and so forth are going to be there. Do you want to go? Now, I was 16 years old at the time. I had never been to a concert. So this would be my first time ever going to a concert. I was super, super excited. And I asked my parents. My mom was a little hesitant, but I kept begging her, like, Mom, you don't understand. These are my friends from school. They were a couple years older than me. I'll never forget Nick D, Keith. I forget who else was there. But I remember me and Nick D and Keith being, the three out of... We met up with so many people at that show. You end up losing count of who actually you went with. But nonetheless, anyways, so it cost $45. I remember that. It's clear as day. Now the summer's coming and Ozzfest is approaching. That's right. Destiny is approaching. Ozzfest, my first concert. And Ozzy is going to be the first concert. Ozzfest. Oh, I'm so excited. The only bands I really knew on that bill. Now, at this point, I was sort of getting back into metal at the time and rock. I had kind of deviated away for a little while. And so I knew Tool because my brother had Enema on CD, and I would stare at that CD as the images changed the whole time. And I knew Megadeth, obviously, because being an 80s metalhead fan. So I obviously knew who they were. So I was excited. I was like, all right, cool. You know what I mean? I'm ready. I had no idea who Limp Bizkit was at the time. I had no idea who Snot was at the time. I had no idea who Cold Chamber or Seven Dust or any of these bands were at the time. So this was like new experience. And I remember going, and we waited till a certain time because the beginning of the day was hot as hell. And we were all like, yeah, we're not going to go during that time. And then we made it in time for, I believe it was Seven Dust who took the stage first. And then it was Cold Chamber and Soulfly and so on and so forth. But we get to Limp Bizkit. Now, a lot of us are, participating in, little extracurricular activities at the time. It's 1998. Weed's not legal yet. So whatever the case may be, all of a sudden, there's this huge commotion, right? It's during Limp Bizkit's set, and all eyes were on the stage. All eyes. And you can hear Fred saying what he's saying. I remember him flushing, the Spice Girls and Hanson down the toilet. And all of a sudden, he dares Lynn Strait to come on stage butt-ass naked and to then begin to receive fellatio on stage. And at the time, what I loved about Ozzfest was they used to have those sideshow things on the side. So you would go and you would see the bands, whether it was the second stage or the main stage, but then they had the Village of the Damned, which I always thought was such a cool aspect of Ozzfest at the time, and I wish the later ones they would have brought that back, but they didn't. But nonetheless, one of the dominatrix from the Village of the Damned agreed, came on stage, and then the act was performed, and then all of a sudden you see Mansfield PD, because this is Mansfield, Mass., and you see Mansfield PD just rushing the stage because now they're going to go after Lynn Strait. He's violated a law. I mean, public nudity is definitely not allowed. So, and then to receive, I believe I don't know the technical terms of what happened on stage, but obviously you can't do that sexual act either. This is as close as I got. Here's this little bit of video right here.
I see this head on top of a head walking up the stairs, and I'm like, wow.
And then to kind of show you guys, here it is. There he is on stage, Lynn Strait. There's the giant toilet. This is Mansfield, Mass. Great Woods, as it was called at the time, Ozzfest 98. Thank you to whoever took this picture and put it online. This is like gold right here to have this picture. But I can just remember, you're 16 years old, and at the time, you know, the internet was still kind of a new thing. So these kind of things for an immature 16-year-old were kind of cool. You're like, oh, fuck yeah, dude, I'll never forget, you know, so-and-so getting head on stage. You know what I mean? Like all that stupid shit. But it was always a fun memory. And literally, I remember there was a thing on MTV where Lynn was like, do I have to go on stage naked for you guys to remember me? And believe me, we've never forgotten you. At least none of us here in Mansfield, Massachusetts have ever forgotten you. So happy birthday to Lynn Strait up there. Rest easy, rest in peace. My friend, you definitely gave us an Ozzfest memory to live for the rest of my life. I will never forget that. That was quite the event that happened. So, yeah, that kind of stole the show, honestly, for the rest of the night, because Megadeth was boring. And Tool was awesome. I was high as shit, but Tool was awesome. And, yeah, you know, and Ozzy was Ozzy. He was great. So there you go. Memories, story time. Thank you for tuning in. As always, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're trying to come up with as much content as humanly possible for all of you. And maybe more fun stuff like this. You never know. All right. We will see. I got a fun story about Fred Durst. That will come later. But nonetheless, we'll see you all next time. Stay metal.